Hey y'all, welcome to the Toadstead. Well, what we have here is the top to one of those little 99-cent yard solar lights. There's usually a little lens here and then a big long spike that sticks out and sticks in the ground and does its thing. Well, I had a couple of these that got stepped on and blah 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 and destroyed the bottom halves. And I was kind of monkeying around in the shop, and this thing was actually sitting out in front of the house, and it was lit up sitting on the table, not doing anything. And I was like, man, I wonder if I could do something with it. And then I thought, well, you know, it just needs a new lens. So we started goofing around with what we had laying around, and got a jelly jar. It's a little ball jar. I don't usually use these. This was something this had some Mayhaw jelly in it that I had traded for. I traded some of my apple butter, actually. So we took it and its lid and drilled a hole in the lid so this would sit inside. And I think you get an idea where we might be going with this. Let's see how it works out. Okay, what we got done here was we just used a 3/8 inch drill bit to drill a hole in our used lid. Okay, well, we've got the top piece of our little broken LED light here, and I've got the hole drilled. And what we do is just need to make, you know, somewhat of a waterproof connection there. So we're just going to take a Sharpie here, trace around it so we can see what we got. And I've had a glue gun over here getting ready. I think it's starting to melt. There we go. And I love glue guns. I think they're awesome. They just do so much. And we're just going to put a nice big old glob. Now with this style, I could have just done right around the hole. But then because of the nature, because the way this dish is, I don't think it would have done what I wanted it to do. So let's get it through there, give it a little twist. And the other reason I'm twisting is just to make sure that we get a seal. Now, when that dries up, the water that puddles naturally on top of the cover here will hopefully not penetrate, get up underneath, and let it leak. So that'll take a couple minutes for it to dry. And yeah, love my glue gun. Okay, what we got going here is this jar, being glass, it's going to let light out in every direction. And we don't want that, because the way we're going to hang it, we want it to pretty much, this light is kind of just to show where the door is. Now this little ball jar has the typical little fruit jelly graphic, you know, here on the glass. Not a graphic, it's actually molded into the glass. And on this side it's got the graduations and just says ball, but this is much more open. So what I'm going to do is I've just cut a piece of just white paper. This is just printer paper. And I'm going to take some Scotch tape and just tape it in there. And it's a little less. You can use the mold marks here. It's just a little bit less than halfway. So let me get that taped in there. There you go. You can see if the camera's picking it up. They're just little tape loops to get it taped in there. And the idea is that will act as a reflector to help get that light to reflect out the way we want it to. Alright, let's figure out how we're going to hang it from the door. Okay, well, what I've got here is, this is an old tent stake. I went into my pile of metal crap, and as you can see, this was already bent these tent stakes aren't very good for around here. So when I replaced them, just threw these into my pile of metal crap. Hopefully everybody has a decent pile of metal crap. And this bend was already in there, and I just started making this one. And basically what I'm going to do is go ahead and make it so it sits like this, and it goes like that. And yeah, there's a hose clamp down there. I think you're starting to get the idea. But let me get this bent, and then I'll cut it off in this area somewheres. Maybe. I might just leave it on there because it kind of looks cool. Once it's all bent, I think, once it's all pounded out, I think it'll look better. And then it's just a matter of drilling a hole in it and assembling it. So let me go back to hitting it on the anvil for a little bit, and we'll come back when I get it the way I want it. And there it is. As you can see, I just drilled a hole in this thing, and now it's up there, and we'll come back and see if we can't get a look at it when it's lit up. But just as a side note, this little piece right here, when I was putting it together, I realized that an old spoon with the or fork with the utensil end cut off and bent would have also done the job. But I went with what I had. And there we go, trying to get it to focus in a little bit. It's not bad. It'll probably go blurry when I get back, but it does what it's supposed to do, is just light up the doorway at night. Well, there you go. One way to recycle 99 cents. All right, y'all. We'll see you next time around.